Hello students, myself Rajkumar Meena, Assistant Professor in English, posted at BSR Arts College Alwar. Today, with the help of this video, I will make you try to understand a chapter which is related to your coursework of syllabus of BA Part First Year, General English section. The name of the chapter is The Birth of Khadi, which is written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. As the title suggests, the birth of Khadi. You know, Khadi is merely a fabric, and how Mahatma Gandhi turned a fabric into an economic, social, cultural, and political movement. This is the whole story which is delivered in this chapter, how the importance of Khadi being a part of a Indian freedom struggle and represents whole India with the theme of Khadi. Before we go through the chapter, just I want to introduce Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born in 1869, officially recognized as the father of the nation. He was popularly known as Bapu. He chose truth and non-violence as the chief weapon against the British rule of India. Gandhi, peaceful battle and bloodless revolution helped India to gain independence. Called to the bar in 1891, he practiced at the Bombay High Court and in South Africa. He led the foundation of Indian National Congress in 1894, after which he identified himself with the cause of Indian National Congress in 1894, after which he identified himself with the cause of Indian independence movement from 1915 till 1948. He completely dominated Indian politics. He died at the hand of frantic Nathuram Godse in 1948. Hardly a year after independence, he was the living embodiment of truth and non-violence. He was not only ardent social worker and aspiring teacher, but also one of the greatest Indian writer of English. In this extract from his autobiography, he says that the main object behind the birth of Khadi was to enable Indians to be clothed in clothes manufactured by their own hands. So, it was a brief introduction to the Mahatma Gandhi. You know, a long struggle for the freedom of independence was started from 1857 and which ended with while attaining our independence in year 1947. Mahatma Gandhi played a vital role in our struggle for freedom. So, while as he written in his autobiography, my experiment with truth, Mahatma Gandhi shows that there was an importance of a fabric which fulfilled the needs of Indian people and also indirectly affect the meals of Manchester, which were governed by the British rule. In this chapter, Gandhiji make you understand the whole process of making khadi and how khadi was introduced to the whole country and became a symbol for protest and non-violence as a mode of representation of their thoughts. I do not remember to have seen handloom or a spinning wheel in 1908. It was described in its Hind Swaraj as the pinnacle for growing pauperism of India. In that book, I took it as understood that anything that happened in India to get rid of the grinding poverty of our masses would, in the same process, also establish a Swaraj. All the fine clothes were woven by the weavers who were from foreign yarns, since Indian mills did not spin fine gowns. Even today, the out of the higher gowns by Indian mill is very limited. Whistles, the highest gown, they cannot be spin at all. We made our voluntary agents and of Indian spinning mills. There were many difficulties which were faced by the people, faced by Gandhi while uh, being formed Khadi. Khadi was not merely a fabric, it was a protest from Indian society or Indian social freedom fighters that by that they can they can they can protect their own rights, as Gandhi directly and indirectly suggest people to use Indian goods and Indian clothes that can help our Indian social condition and economical condition. As well as to achieve that, Gandhi set a goal to fulfill the needs of clothes by Indian by achieving to give birth to the khadi. Sometime at that time it was not easy to in the year 1917 it was taken by my Gujarati friend to preside at the Baruch Educational Conference. It was here that I discovered a remarkable lady, Ganga Bain Majumdar. She was a widow, but her enterprising spirit knew no bounds. Her education, in the accepted sense of the term, was not much, but in the courage and common sense, she entirely surpassed the general runs of our educated women. She had already got rid of the curse of untouchability and fearlessly moved among the move among and served the surpassed classes. She had means of her own and her needs were few. She had a well sessioned constitution and went about everywhere without an escort. She felt quite at home on horseback. It came to know her more intimately at the Godhra conference. To her, I poured out my grief about Charka, and she lightened my burden by a promise to prosecute an earnest and instant search for the spinning wheels. It was due to her Gandhiji make many more people to understand how to spin a yarn and how to make a thread or count with the help of their spinning yarns. It was Ganga Bain Majumdar who trained many peoples in ashrams, and by this Gandhiji achieved the challengeful task of fulfilling the needs of fabric to the Indian people, which was made it by the Indian people, not by the means of Manchester